My people, welcome back to the Enlightened Path. I cannot begin to tell you how much I've missed you guys. Oh my gosh, but I'm not gonna come here and lie to you. Life was lifing. Life was lifing. I was having such a difficult time. Not difficult in a way where I believe as if something was happening to me or I was in a victim place, but having a difficult time as in processing every single thing that was happening, like processing one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. There were times when I just sat and I cried because I felt frustrated, not because I didn't understand like exactly what was really going on, but because it was just a lot. I cried but and I was just not managing, to be honest. There were so many times I wanted to do my podcast, but I lacked the motivation to get it done. And gradually, step by step, I use certain tools and so on, and I pull myself out of that place because I start to journal, I start to meditate. These are things that I was doing all along, but it was things that I fell off from doing during the time of crisis. And it was just a lot. It was just a lot. I want to say thank you to those individuals who reached out to me like, hey Abby, what's going on with the podcast? I haven't seen anything from you, and so on. I really appreciate the support. Last week I was actually hoping to do a video, but somehow like I wasn't getting through to get it done. You know, like when you have that big project that you're working on and then you fall out that project, and to get back on, sometimes it's really, really challenging. I got up motivated with the mindset and everything to get it done, and then little by little the day just ended up falling apart. Now today's podcast is not just about me returning to the mic. It's with lessons. I've learned so much. I've been away for like a month or even more. I'm not counting because I don't want to think too much about it, but there's so much lessons that I learned over that period, lessons that I'm coming to share with you truthfully and from my heart. Because one thing we have to understand in life is that no one is perfect. We are all on our own journey, and there are times where we can use life's experiences to pretty much fine-tune ourselves. And I feel like if I learn something, it's only important that I share it with you. Like if I learn something, I share it with you because at the end of the day, we learn from each other. I learn from you guys as much as you can learn from me. Now today's episode is about all the things that I've learned. I'm going to touch into it. I learned about 5 or 6 lessons that I want to share with you because these are actual experiences that I've had, which allows me to know that I am still on my path. I am still on a journey. I am still alive. I'm not immune to anything. I just have to look at it, see it for what it is, understand it, and put it into the correct perspective. Now let me tell you something, and everything that I'm sharing with you, like I said, it is from my heart. My first lesson that I have learned over the past month, I would say, is that, and maybe this is a lesson I should have already learned previously in life, and many of you may already know it, but I'm hyper independent. So as a result, I probably didn't get the opportunity to learn this particular lesson. And this lesson is that people may say like, hey, if you're struggling, you could always reach out to me. If you need help with something, you can always call me. If you need support, emotionally, physically, psychologically, in whatever way, I am here for you. We've all heard that term a lot, and I can safely say that was a lesson that I've learned over the past month, was that people are not always there for you. Like the people who use their words and say that they will be there for you, it is not always the case, but that's completely fine. That's what I've always known this. It's completely fine There is no lack in the world. There's no shortages of support. But the strange thing that happened was that the people who I didn't even expect to help me were the ones who reached out and really just stepped in to support me and help me get through what I was going through. There's people closest to me who didn't even notice anything was wrong with me. They didn't even know anything was happening, because it's all wrapped up, like I said, in expectations. But I was just dealing with so much. So what I also understand is that divine timing is always at play in the background. So even if those individuals that we believe or who we think or who we have helped, and the expectation is that they in turn will help us back, mind you, they shouldn't, because anything you do for someone, that should be done out of the kindness of your own heart without having that expectation. Right? But sometimes, because of who we are, we feel like, it's an expectation that somebody would come through for you if you have done so for them in the past. That is not always accurate. And nothing is wrong with that, because there's people who are going to help you anyway, regardless if you've done anything for them or not. That was a very important lesson for me to learn, that sometimes the people who use their words and say they will help you will not always help you. And it's okay that they didn't, because there's other people who are in full alignment with helping and supporting you. Hey, lesson number 2. I knew this, but I forgot. I knew it, but I forgot. Now, lesson number 2 is you have to be open. Be open to blessings coming into your life from various forms. You understand what I'm saying? And multiple sources. You can even say this affirmation: blessings come to me in various forms and from multiple sources, especially during your time of manifestation. Especially if you're manifesting something, especially during those particular times, you have to be open to how it is going to come. It will not always come in the way you expect it to come. You have to be open and say, however it come, it come. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the law of attraction as well as being attached to outcomes. So we can want something during our manifestation. We be like, yes, let's just say I want a pen. And you're thinking that in your mind, in your little mind, where you could barely see the big picture, you barely know what's going to happen tomorrow. You've already conjured up how it's going to come to you, how this pen is going to arrive. You already have it streamlined in your mind. And then you wonder why it didn't come. It didn't come because you were too attached to the outcome of the how it is going to come. The how is not your business. All you have to do is know exactly what you want. That was a lesson that I had to remember, right? Being too caught up. I was so caught up with an attachment to a particular outcome. And then I felt disappointed. But as soon as the disappointment hit, I knew that this is not a familiar feeling. I don't feel disappointed about things. And I had to go back to the drawing board and said, okay, hold on. I was attached to the outcome of the how. Had to pull myself back together. And then remember that that's not my problem. The how is not my problem. So when we also get attached to the how, we limit the variety of ways that this particular thing can come to you. Whereas it probably can come in a way that you can't even foresee because you are not in a position to see that. All you have to do is trust and believe. So that is a lesson that I actually had to remember. Setbacks. Oh my gosh. Remember I just talked about that lesson there of anticipating and expecting the how. But let me tell you about another lesson that I learned. Setback is God's way of saying, hold up, wait, relax yourself. Don't fight this thing. Or God's way of saying something better is in store for you. Nothing is happening to you. It's all being orchestrated, the grand creation of things happening in the background. Nothing is happening to you. It is all happening for you. When things do not go according to plan, or when we say, wait, this I was in alignment to do, let's just say a job, to get this job, to get this promotion, to get this new thing, whatever it is, it's unique to you. And I know I'm speaking to somebody. This thing that you think that you're supposed to get, and when it doesn't come and you start to sulk, you actually saying, I don't trust God's timing. Every time you're upset or disappointed because something doesn't go or a delay has occurred, you're saying by not trusting that I don't trust God, I don't trust the universe to give me exactly what I need. And let me tell you something. Sometimes that setback, that delay is so pertinent in your next step, because had you gone to that next level, you would have been ill-equipped to deal with what you have to deal with, or you would have been dissatisfied with what you thought mentally, because we create these mental images in our mind as to what it should be. Mind you, as to what it should be and how it's going to feel. And when you don't get that, you feel even worse, working so hard for something that doesn't even fulfill you. So allow, when the delay happens, relax. That is why it is happening. It is happening for you to trust. As a matter of fact, now more than ever during the delay, it's not for you to panic, not for you to grab the phone and make 1,000 phone calls and amplify the problem and make it greater. It's for you to sit with it and say, God, I trust you. I trust the divine timing to unfold anything that you have in store for me, and then you allow. That was a lesson that I too had to learn. That everything, it doesn't matter what is happening, everything is still working for my highest good. Everything is still working out for me. It doesn't matter. It's still going to work out. All I have to do is not to get attached to what isn't going right. All I have to do is focus on what is going right. Ensure that my mind, heart, and soul is aligned, feels connected to myself, and allow God to do whatever He has to do. Lesson number 4. Give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. The first person to judge you, we like to say, this body judging me, this body talking about me. By now, we shouldn't care about what anybody else think. At this point, if you still care about what people think, do some soul searching. You'll find the answers there. And you'll find as to why you don't need to care about what people think. But we look at others as criticizing us. But our biggest critic is ourselves. Our biggest critic is in our mind, reminding us about the time we didn't do something that we were supposed to do, or a mistake that we have made 5 years ago, 10 years ago, a month ago, a year ago. That critic is in your mind, reminding you, bringing these things to the forefront. You have to release that. There is no room for that. You are not even that person anymore. You're not even the person you were yesterday. But there's a condition. You are not that person if you have learned from your mistakes. Those of you who know me and been watching my videos, you know I always say to you guys, every challenge that you face is an opportunity for you to learn. Every single challenge. And there is a lesson wrapped up, neatly packaged inside of that pain, inside of that suffering. And the moment we hand over our power is when we look externally and we say, you are the problem. You did this to me. No. There is a lesson there for you to learn. And if you don't learn your lesson, you become like the people, a large percentage of the population that says the world is a bad place. missing out on all the beautiful things that are happening in the world, and all the beautiful people that you can still meet, and all the beautiful people that are here to support you, to hold your hand and push you in a beautiful direction. You miss out because you tell yourself the world is a negative place. It's just that you're being helped. The universe is helping you to learn the lessons that you have to learn. And by not learning those lessons that you have to learn, it keeps repeating itself. So instead of looking at yourself, going inside, look at yourself and say, what can I learn from this experience? What is this experience trying to teach me? You start to project and externalize, and you become a victim. That is when you lose. Do you understand what I'm saying? That is when you lose. But I'm saying to you, forgive yourself. You will realize as well that when you start to forgive yourself, it's easier for you to forgive others and release them. Because those who are not in alignment for you, you already know. Why are you holding things against them, and the this and the that and the tarot? It don't make sense. You do that. What would make more sense is to see them for who they are, understand that this is their journey, this is just where they are in their journey. They can be better people, but they have to choose that. And you pull back your energy. But at the end of the day, forgiveness starts with you. You stop looking at that thing, that mistake that you make, and forgive yourself. You have grown. You are not that person. You have grown from that individual, and nobody is judging you more harshly than you. And I'm saying this to you, and I'm talking to you, and I'm encouraging you, because I had to do that for myself. I had to stop holding on. I had to release things that I wasn't too proud of. Sometimes it's years ago, sometimes it's over 10 years. I am definitely not that person, but it still used to plague to some extent. And I was like, wait a minute. This is a trick. This is a trick to keep you in a loop of feeling unworthy, not knowing you are worthy, because you have already learned a lesson. You're no longer there. You're not even dealing anymore with that challenge or that struggle. It is gone. So why still hold on? Why? There's no reason. That version of you no longer exists. That is also one of the things that I learned in the month of me being away. This is going to be a big one. This is going to be a big one. Pride. Oh, God. Y'all already know about this. Pride. Pride will cause you to not reach out for help and support. Pride will cause you not to reach out for help. Pride will cause you, and that will be your biggest downfall. Pride. I know I mentioned earlier that not everyone will help you. Yes, that is true as well. But whenever you're in a situation, you need to reach out for help. You need to reach out for help. Reaching out for help doesn't mean that the particular people or who you anticipate to help you will help you. Others will help you. But the lesson here that I'm trying to share with you is you have to reach out for help. My sister says something all the time. She said, closed mouths don't get fed. And I always remember that. And that's one of the things I've struggled with, because I've been so independent. Like, I figure everything out on my own. I figure out for me and everybody around me. But to say, hey, I'm struggling, I need some support. Could you help me look after this thing? Could you take me here? Whatever support is needed. And I sit with myself and I said, you know what? The fact that you don't want to ask people and you put it under a blanket of, oh, I don't want to bother people. No, it's pride. Not you don't want to bother people, it's pride. That is what it is. And that don't get you anywhere. Some will say no, some will say yes, but what the heck? It don't matter. Open your mouth and say that you need support. Why are you suffering in silence? Why are you struggling because you don't want to say you want help and say, oh, I don't want to bother people. Nah, I ain't buying the one. If you need help, you need help. If you need support, you need support. Say it, you need support. Who's going to help you will help you. Who don't want to help you will not help you. But you have to use your words and say, I need help with something, right? I need support in this area. And if you find like you're somebody who is struggling with saying you need help or you need support, that is something that you have to work with, because that is your pride. I think this is my last lesson. I wasn't counting. I think it was about 5 or 6. But this is the last lesson that I've learned over the past month. Apologizing, it's not weak. To apologize because you realize that you have erred or you have done wrong in a situation is not weakness. That is strength. And I have to say to you, and I'm closing with this one, if there's someone that you have wronged and feel strongly that you should apologize to them, I feel like you should stop this video now, pause or whatever, and if you're not bold enough to pick up the phone and call to say that I'm sorry, it's imperative that you send a text at least to open that room, make room so that you can say you are sorry. Life is short. Look how many people are dying every day. We wake up every single day. We open the newspaper, we go on social media, we listen to the radio. Death all around us. People are dying. You know how many people, some of the clients that I coach, that feel regret because they didn't get a chance to say they are sorry to a loved one that passed. This happens a lot with parents and children relationship. It happens a lot. Child isn't speaking to the parent isn't speaking to the child, and that pain is something that they have to live with for a very, very long time, because they still can't say sorry to them, and they wish if they would have gotten that opportunity, they wish they could have said sorry to their loved ones, but they're gone. It's not worth it. Your ego will make you feel like they should reach out to me. Yeah, they contributed too. They should reach out to me. Your ego will put you in that position, and you have to fight it. And you have to say, I am no longer going to hold out. I'm going to say I'm sorry because I participated in this bullshit. So I'm going to say I'm sorry. It prevents you from living in regrets. Guys, everything that I would have said to you today, these are not things that I scripted from some text, but this is my experience. These are things that I am still learning. I am still growing. I am still understanding the complexities of life. And these are my personal experiences that I've understood over the period. Of course, I've known from before. But life ensured that I remember them. And it was challenging for me, going through one lesson after the other lesson after the other lesson after the lesson. It's like it's saying, yeah, make sure you don't forget again. And I'm sure I will not, or I will try my very best to. But these are just my personal experiences that I want to share with you. I am back. The podcast is going to be banging again every Sunday at 5 p.m. I can't wait to see you guys. I cannot wait to start initiating the conversations for you to continue to send the topics that you want me to cover. I cannot tell you. I just boast and brag a lot about my circle. I literally have the best people in my corner. I literally have the best. I was threatened that I have to make the video today or else. But I was already planning it, so whatever. You can't do me anything. Yeah, so I'm so thankful to you guys, everyone that comment, that usually inbox me. I notice you guys like to inbox me instead of commenting openly, but that's okay too. I love you guys so much. I will see you next week where we continue another episode on the Enlightened Path.